Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's fascinating this morning to hear the feigned outrage of the Democrats today. It's as if they haven't heard the message of this previous election, like it never occurred. I can tell you, in my district, what the American people wanted was to prioritize America, prioritize the American people over the bureaucracy, over the massive federal government. Do you know today that government spending is over 1/3 of GDP? This is what the Democrats are defending. Over 3 million employees in the federal government alone, not including state and local. And the fallacies that have been brought up here today, Social Security being privatized, no one has mentioned that. In fact, the president has said he wants to protect Social Security. Look at his record in his first 4 years. No, that I will not yield. Look at his record in the first 4 years. He did nothing to change Social Security in any way. And he said multiple times he's going to protect Social Security, going to protect Medicare. And I can tell you, every Republican on this side of the aisle believes and agrees that we should protect the vulnerable among us. We should protect those programs for individuals who truly need them, who have been paying into the system. So it's bizarre. It's outrageous, the kind of things that they've been saying. Now, let's talk a little bit about Musk. And Mr. Larson in particular knows that Social Security will be bankrupt in 9 years or 10 years. At that point, no, I'm not going to yield. You had your time. You had your time. Will be in 9 or 10 years, projections show that what is owed in Social Security will be more than we're taking in. So you ought to be extremely happy if we're finding waste in the system, because every dollar of waste in Social Security, in Medicare, in every other program, every dollar of waste and fraud is a dollar that is available to the people, to the recipients who deserve that service. So, you know, many presidents have tried this. We've seen under the Clinton years, they trimmed back the federal workforce. Nixon talked about it. But this is finally a president who's willing to take on the bureaucracy and really make a difference. 3 million employees. You don't think that we can find some ways to trim? And you know, we've heard reports here, there's waste all over the place, there's fraud. And what Mr. Musk is finding could impact our deficit in a big way. The American people know that we're bankrupt. The American people know we're bankrupt. Just think of this. This year, we're spending $7 trillion and we're taking in $5 trillion. You're all you're arguing to keep that. If we don't change our course, we're going to see a sovereign debt crisis, and every American is going to be impacted.
Will the gentleman yield?
No, I'm not going to yield.
You voted to
you have
yesterday.
You'll have your time. I'm not yielding. We will have a sovereign debt crisis if we don't change course. And where we should start is exactly what the president is doing. Root out every bit of waste and fraud that we can find. That's where we should start. It might make an amazing difference. This is why, by the way, I think you're on the wrong side of this. I think the American people are going to see the kind of waste and fraud. They support this. Why do you think today the majority of the American people support what Elon Musk is doing? Why do you think today the majority of the American people support what the president is doing? And one other thing. You keep talking about him. He should be right here. You can follow what he's doing. He's doing interviews. He's got DOGE.gov. He's uncovering what he's doing. This is not someone who is doing this in the dark. He's being very open about what is happening. So again, I think you're on the wrong side of this. The American people side with us today. They sided with us in this previous election, and you keep this up, they're going to be siding with us with many elections to come. I yield back.